Guys, welcome to the channel Learning Hub with Dr. FKY. In this video, I would like to explain that how we can select multiple columns or multiple variables in R Studio. We have learned in the previous lecture that we can choose specific value by giving some dimension, that means the number of rows and number of columns, and you can choose specific value, specific row, and specific column. But in this lecture, this is the extension, and in this lecture we will learn that how we can choose multiple variable or multiple columns. Uh, for this purpose, we will use the function select, which is a function of the deployer package, which is very important package for or you can say R and R Studio. Let's move to R Studio. Clean this with the Control plus L. Okay. Now I need to use the select function from deployer, so I need to upload, you can say recall with the function library and deployer. Okay, this is working. This is already installed, so there is no problem. Now I need the data, so I will use some other data. You can use this data as well, but I will use a data which is available online, so you can do practice with that data as well, sitting at your home. Let's suppose that I just assign that to data. I assign the values to this data, that is empty cars. Okay, let's just check whether it's working or okay. So the data has empty cars, or you can say I can use this now. Okay, so I need to choose. Let me say I can do this in the other way. Okay, let's assign this data in this way, mtcar. Yes, I think this is better way because I will not use empty cars then after assigning. So this is okay. Now I can just use data. Okay, it is now stored in the data. So just check it's EAD. What are the variables? These are the variables. This is about some data, MPG and cylinder and different things. You can see this the detail of this data because this data is very important, and you can see that it is used for different purposes. I mean, there are practices and yes. So the purpose is not to explain this data or to the purpose is just to choose how we can choose multiple columns from this data. So now you know that the data is stored in the data. So I can use, suppose I just assume that, let's suppose I want to choose column 2 and 3. Suppose this should be like this. Assign the values data. Oh, not okay. Select the function select, and then you can say you can write the data whatever as the name of the data, and then you can write the second and the third column. The second column as cylinder and disp, disp, CYL and DSP, DISP. Okay, I just choose these two from this data, from the data. I can just now check its EAD and X23. You will see only those variables. So you can reduce the data to the purposeful data of which you need actually. Now suppose you want to choose different columns, more columns. Suppose you want to choose more columns. I will just write four columns, suppose, from the data. You can say, okay, MPG, CYL, MPG, CYL, DSP, and gear. You can say MPG and gear. Okay, now X4 just is just the name, so I'm choosing four columns. So I just mentioned this is four, but you can choose any name. So let me check this with HEAD because I want to see the top values. X4. Okay, so these are the four columns: MPG, CYL, DISP, and gear. You can use this thing to make specific data for your analysis and remove all the data which you don't need actually. Now X variable, in this X4 variable has all the data which you needed and you choose that data by yourself, like the four variable we choose. In this way, you can choose any number of variables from a big data and you can work with that reduced data, whatever you like, or whatever you needed. So I hope this will help you in your analysis. So thank you very much for watching. And if you like the content, please subscribe the channel. See you in the next video. Ciao.